Is your Akita constantly jumping up people and getting to the point where they're actually being quite dangerous? Even if they're just being very friendly and loving, it's causing huge amounts of concern. Well, don't worry, because that is exactly what I'm going to help you out with in today's video. Welcome back to the Fenrir Akita Show. If you're new here, my name's Will. I'm a canine behaviorist and I'm the founder and CEO of FenrirCanineLeaders.com. This channel is dedicated to teaching you everything that you could possibly ever want to know about the incredible Akita, and then how to become high-level canine leaders that can raise perfect Akita companions. So if you're a lifelong Akita lover or you've just getting your first Akita, I promise you this channel is for you. So start by hitting that subscribe button and turning on the notification bell so that you'll never miss a future Akita video. So I was just going through my emails, as I do every morning, trying to find out what it is that people are searching for help with, what they're finding challenging, what difficulties they're having with their dogs, so that hopefully we could create some videos to help as many people as possible. Because everything we do here at Fenrir is to help you help your dogs, so that these dogs aren't ending up in shelters or unfortunately getting euthanized. And I was flicking through my emails and I had one that for some reason touched my heart, with a lady that's got an Akita. It's a gentle, loving dog that she's always dreamed of, and she was worried that maybe she's been a little bit too soft with the Akita, and now it's getting a bit older. It's 9 months old. It's starting to get really big, and it's jumping up every time somebody comes into the home. And it got to a point where it knocked one of her nieces over, which obviously, as you can imagine, caused quite a difficulty. And now people don't necessarily want to come over. They're scared of the dog. This is a very common problem and something that I see all the time. Now, luckily, for this person, it's quite an easy fix, and I've told them I'm going to do this video so that they can watch along and fix the problem as quickly and as efficiently as possible. But for people watching at home that might have these similar kind of difficulties, I want to give you some really practical steps that you can do at home as well. Now, as always is the case with anything to do with canine leadership, canine ownership, canine companionship, it's always best to get it right first time round. I've worked as a behaviorist for years, and it breaks my heart when I see people come to me kind of at their last straw and they've spent thousands on other trainers, and I just think, oh, if you'd have come to me first and did these things up front, you'd have saved yourself a fortune, and you'd have saved yourself this heartache that they're going through with their dogs. And it does break my heart, and I want to help people get it right first time around. So if you're watching this because you're being proactive and preemptive, then fantastic. What I want you to do, and I promise you I'm going to give you lots of tips on fixing jumping up if it's become an issue, but if you're watching this proactively and preemptively, make sure that as part of your manners work, we discuss it at length during our Perfect Puppy program. Everything good in that dog's life comes from a sit and stay, whether that's giving them their food, giving them a toy, giving them praise, giving them access to come up to the sofa. It all comes from a sit and stay. When you come home and you greet them, you never praise or reward excitable behavior, because that excitable behavior quickly turns into jumping up behavior. Might not be an issue at 8 weeks, but at 8 months, I promise you it's going to be an issue with a big, powerful breed like an Akita. So we always start any kind of praise or fuss or reward with putting the dog into a sit and stay. When they show that behavior, we then praise and reinforce it. As the dog gets older and we get to that big, powerful dog, people come into your home, you come into your home, and you'll find that the dog will naturally go into a sit and stay, probably quite an excitable one with their tails wagging, but there's nothing wrong with that. But they're sitting there excited to see us, excited to see the people that have come into their home, but they're being well-mannered dogs by going into a sit and stay and waiting patiently for you to go and greet them and for you to give them praise and reward. There is a lot more to it than that, and we go over that a lot in the Perfect Puppy program. But if you are watching this and you want a really quick tip to be proactive and preemptive, that's a really quick tip. Now, for everybody else that already has a large, powerful dog, an Akita that is jumping up, what we need to do is we need to take a two-step approach. First of all, we need to ensure that we restructure our relationships with our dogs so that they understand that we are in control. We are the calm, consistent leaders. We enforce rules, expectations, and boundaries, and their responsibility is to follow and obey those rules, boundaries, and expectations. That is fixing most behavior problems at the root cause rather than just putting a plaster over them. And what we're going to do with jumping up is we're going to take a two-pronged approach. We're going to fix it at the root cause by addressing that relationship and making sure we restructure it and get to that point. We utilize our boot camp protocol to achieve that. And then simultaneously, because that's a more of a 1 month ongoing process, it's not a quick fix, nothing in the canine behavior realm is, that's a 1 month process of going through that boot camp protocol. Then simultaneously, we're going to work on some management strategies and to help retrain and restructure our dog's mind. And to achieve that, what we're going to do is we're always going to insist that we have our dog on some kind of lead. Ideally, we might have them on a slip lead, on a long line, it doesn't really matter, but we want to ensure that we can get to the behavior before it happens. We want to be proactive and preemptive and set our dogs up for success. So there's a few different things we can do here. First of all, as we're going through that boot camp process, like with puppies and getting it right in the first time, we are now going to restructure this relationship with our dog that everything positive in its life is going to come from a sit and stay. That, as we do it more and more, the dog will start to learn, oh, okay, cool, I want that thing, but to get it, I better go into a sit and stay. And whether that's praise, whether that's fuss because you've just come home, they'll quickly understand, even though I'm dead excited and I'm happy to see you, I better go into a sit and stay because you ignore me until I do that. That's what we're going to work on. That's another ongoing, overarching approach to fixing it at the root cause. And that coincides beautifully with the boot camp program. So that's one area. Then what we're going to do is there's a couple of more kind of tricks that we can do, a couple of almost games that we can do, and a couple of behavior modification protocols that we can do. The first one is going to be a correct, redirect, reinforce process, which is why we're going to keep if you know somebody's coming over, put a long line on your dog, put a slip lead on your dog. If you want to go as far as utilizing a prong collar, that can be very effective as well. And what we're going to do is before the dog displays that jumping up behavior, we're going to correct them. Now that might be a very stern verbal correction of no, or it might be a pop on a lead, it might be a pop on a prong collar, but we're going to correct the dog. Now we take a balanced approach when it comes to canine behavior and behavior modification, and we take an approach that fixes the issue as quickly as possible, because if we can fix the issue, we save the dog's life. So it comes from a place of love and it comes from a place of care. So yes, we are going to correct the dogs. Yes, we are going to use a punishment, but we need to let them know, no, I don't want you to display that behavior anymore. That's the correction. Some dogs respond very well to verbal correction. Then we don't need to use any physical correction whatsoever. Some dogs will respond quite well to just a little pop on a normal lead on a harness. There's no kind of pain caused there. Some dogs, Akitas tend to fall into this category, require a little bit more of a physically punitive correction, which is where we might then utilize something like a prong collar. We're going to let them know, using that correction, that is not a desirable behavior and I want you to stop it. That's the correction part. Then we're going to redirect, and we're going to redirect them to some kind of obedience that we've already taught them. Ideally, that could just be a simple, so the dog's about to jump up or they've jumped up, we go in with a quick correction, verbal or a collar correction. That's the correction part, then we redirect into a sit and stay. So correction, sit, dog drops into a sit, then we reward and reinforce that sit and let them know, I don't want you to do that, however, I am a calm, consistent leader. I'm not just going to punish you and not tell you what I'd rather you do. I don't want you to do that, but please, can you go into a sit and stay? Yes, you can do that. Excellent. Now we go back to that praise and reward. You combine that with those overarching things that we're working on, the boot camp protocol, and that making sure that everything comes from a sit and stay, that behavior will start to get displayed straight away. And then we don't need to use any corrections. Then we don't have a dog that's jumping up. Therefore, we don't have a dangerous dog. And we may well have just saved that dog's life by using a little bit of correction just to let them know, we don't want you to do that. I'm going to redirect you to what I do want. And now I'm going to reward and reinforce that. And now we get to live back in that positive reward, positive reinforcement realm. That's one option. We can then also utilize something like a place command, and we can really then level up the fun and the game, and we can have a marker, we can have a raised bed, you can use anything you want for a place command, but we can hopefully spot that something's coming that might make the dog jump up. Ideally, we can cut out the correction and go straight to the redirect by sending them to a place command. Then when they're on the place, they go into a sit and stay. Fantastic. Praise, reward, praise, reward. On top of that restructuring of the relationship, on top of that sit and stay overarching theory that we're going to be utilizing with our dogs moving forward, the dog will quickly learn, okay, cool, I want praise and fuss here, but instead of going and jumping up and demanding it, I'm going to listen. I'm going to be well-mannered, patient, quiet, and wait. and then those positive things come. And that has such a beautiful knock-on effect to all other areas of your relationship with your dog, and it's just such a powerful tool to utilize. So there's a few different methodologies that we can use. You can use all of them. You can pick and choose a few of them. If you want help with our bootcamp protocol to really drill down and get into the root cause of any behavior problems, and the link is in the description box below. I hope you found that useful. If you've got any Akita questions whatsoever, from puppy training to severe behavior modification and rehabilitation, or just some interesting facts about Akitas, drop them down in the comment section below, because if you're interested, then I promise you somebody else is as well. And everything we do here is to help you help your dogs so that they don't go in shelters and that they don't get put down. So you can help us help other people by giving us some ideas and things that you want to learn more about, and we'll be happy to help you in any way that we can. So thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you on the next episode of the Fenrir Akita Show.